Welcome everybody back to Based Off Characters. This is Ray, and I got a treat for you. This is going to be a first time because I actually going to interview someone that actually shares the same first name as I do. So this is going to be interesting. He's going to be able to talk about himself. He's going to talk about all the things he does, and I promise you, you're going to find some laughs in this one because that's what he does. He makes people enjoy themselves with laughter. So the next voice you're going to hear will be from my guest. On you.
All right, what's up, man? What's up, y'all? What's going on, man? It's your man, comedian Renard Hirsch here, man. See what's going on. Checking in with another Renard. What's going on, man?
Well, I tell you what's going on here. You know, the first thing I want to talk about here is Monday Night Football and all the Titan fans out there in the Titan world. We've been going through it. So I know you're
Uh-huh.
probably not a Titan fan, but since you are of the region, maybe I'm wrong. Tell us your
Uh,
thoughts on the Titans as you see us sitting at 0-3 right now.
I mean, well, my view on it was I always think the Titans they always draft great talent, but I think when they get them, they just don't know what to do with them. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, I don't know. And of course, when Derrick Henry left, I automatically assume, okay, this is a rebuilding year, because that was our big superstar. So, uh,
Hmm.
so yeah, I mean, I did, I'm not expecting much out this season. So, yeah, so I'm like, yeah,
That's crazy.
if they get 2 wins out of this, I would be like, okay, they overachieved for this season.
I get you,
Yeah,
man.
I'm not expecting too much from them this season. Anything they do over 2 or 3 wins, I'll be like, okay, that was great. Let's see what we can do next year.
Okay,
Let's get
okay.
this number 1 pick next year.
Dang, that's messed up. Number one pick. Well,
Go
I
ahead,
mean,
tank the
you number
season.
one pick. You done done some tanking. I tell you that much. And you talk about number one pick already this early, so you ain't expecting much at all, are
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm
you?
not. I'm not expecting too much.
All right. Well, I want to get into you and your creative space. So just imagine this here. You're riding down the street, right? You going wherever you're going. But then how do you get into the creative space of saying, man, this is a joke. I need to say this the next time I get on stage or the next time I'm in front of somebody. So how does that work for you?
Yeah, basically, man, like every joke, starts from a seed. So, um, yeah, like if I'm out and I hear something or I see something, I'm like, ooh, that's funny. I was like, man, let me, so I usually write it down in my phone, and then when I get some downtime, then I'll start to write and brainstorm over it and try to see does it connect with any of the jokes I already got, or does it, I try to think about my life experiences that I've had with that situation and try to see, what I'm saying. I bring it up in conversation with other people, see what they think about it. And so then once I do that process, then I'll put it all together and be like, okay, I think I know what this how to craft this joke and put it together.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Well, I got something for you here. So this has been a big topic. Obviously, everybody knows Diddy, right? And what the things that he's
Uh,
going through. So the big
yeah.
question is, have you ever been to a Diddy party? Most people ask, or would you go to a Diddy party? So I want to know your
Uh,
thoughts on that.
okay. Well, so growing up, like it's like I guess maybe. I mean, yeah, I guess because I guess Diddy kind of came in around about my high school time, so him and Big and all that stuff was going
Mhm.
on, and he was doing his thing. And of course, we all saw him as a big celebrity, so I always wanted to go to a Diddy party. I just heard that they were the best parties. It was there were naked women there. There was any kind of drug you wanted to do, any kind of liquor you wanted to drink. So to me, it just I didn't know anything about the other stuff that apparently went on the freak off time. I guess after 12, it was time for the freak off. So
Right.
I didn't I didn't know that was going on, or I didn't know about any trafficking or whatever. But yeah, like I was as a young entertainer, I was like, oh yeah, like hey Diddy, it looked like Diddy is living the life. I want to live the life. So yeah, we didn't know to what extent he was living it though.
Well, I want to ask
Yeah,
you
but I
this
mean,
here.
yeah, I was always a fan of Diddy. I don't,
Yeah.
of course, it's definitely problematic. The unfortunate, stuff with Cassie and whoever that was, was hurt by the situation. But yeah, I mean, growing up, I just, I thought, I was a Diddy fan. I like to see Diddy be Diddy. He was a superstar. He did superstar stuff. I was okay with that. I was like, hey, okay, yeah, this is how Diddy get down. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Well, I want to ask you this here. Name a comedian if you're hosting a party that's living or dead now that you will go to, like a party, like a Diddy party.
you hold on. You said say that again.
Like
A
any
comedian.
comedian, dead or alive, that you'll go to their party.
Oh, comedian. Who was a good partier? Hmm. I mean, I think, of course, I mean, I'm sure, like, if you did a 85 South party, I'm sure that'd be great. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
those guys are they funny? They the life of the party. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Um, I'd be down for 85 South party. That seems like that'd be a good one.
Carlos Miller, Chico, and all them. Yeah, yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. DC Young Fly. Yeah, it seems like yeah, that might be that'd probably be like the closest. Oh, wait, who else you got? You got Kevin. 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 Let's see. I mean, Kevin's cool. He'd be cool to party with. He's the life of the party. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So
So,
yeah, yeah.
we're gonna get into a little something here. Some controversial comedians.
Okay.
Someone just came new into the scene, and now they're saying they're comedians, and they're obviously funny, doing a lot of things. Charleston White. Tell me your opinion
hmm
of him.
Charleston. I got a chance to see him. And so initially I was just like I was trying to figure this out. I was like, what is cause I found I seen some of his videos, then I found out he's doing stand up. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, okay, so he's I wasn't quite sure what he had going on, but
Mm-hmm.
one day I did hear him explain what he did. 'Cause I didn't agree with some of the stuff he says or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
I saw him in an interview and he was saying, when I tried to just say my opinions, in a regular manner, people didn't listen. But
Okay.
then, when I be myself and let myself come out and act a fool or maybe act ignorant, then that's when people want to listen. And and then I get the listening and the following. So I totally get that, what I'm saying? Like, some, just like what Jay-Z said, I dumbed down my lyrics to double up my dollars or whatever. So,
Yeah, yeah.
so then, yeah, so it's like, what do you say lyrically? I beat
Uh,
Talib Kweli, but he had to dumb down and stuff. So
mhm.
yeah, even like the rapper Mac, he said the same. They said the same thing. It was like, man,
Mm.
he was out down south Nas, but
Yes, sir.
he's like, yeah, I can do this. I can do this robbing killing music all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is easy, but he's like, really, I had some more intellectual stuff that I really wanted to do.
Right, right.
So yeah, so that's what I think about Charles White. I have a little bit more understanding of kind of
Okay.
who he is and why he does what he would. I still don't agree with everything he says or whatever, but at
Okay.
the end of the day, I think a lot of public figures are realizing that um they're public figures, but they're also entertainers, and they're learning how to work these algorithms and learning
Mhm.
to say something controversial that they didn't know people. Even like Dr. Umar. I think
Mm.
I like watching Dr. Umar. I think he's an
Yeah.
interesting person to watch. Don't agree with everything he says, but I know I think he's a very intelligent brother, but I know he does have to throw those little jewels and those little bombs out to catch your attention. God, I noticed like y'all this week, like he's been talking about Diddy and his trial. So so I get that too. So but when it comes to I guess people coming into you talking about how his controversy,
Hmm.
just Charleston.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, yeah, that's I understand he's an entertainer and he does what he does to get his clicks and views and get his money. So I get it.
Okay. All right. Got another question for you.
Okay.
Are comedians born? God given, or can someone develop into a comedian?
Yeah, I think both. I think they're I think they're
Hmm.
born and you can develop into one. Um, I yeah, I think like I said, I think that does it has to be that seed though in you, where because like me myself, like I grew up just loving comedy, so
Okay.
I never thought I'd be a comedian. I never thought I'd be doing entertainment. So I just growing up, I just love, Saturday Night Live. I love Living Color. I love, seeing all the skits and seeing Martin and seeing all this stuff. So I loved, I always loved to laugh, but
Yeah.
I never thought I was going to do comedy. So I started doing theater first, and then
Okay.
that's what sent me into stand up. Um, but I think well, I guess I'll say once I got to high school, that's when I started realizing I thought, oh, I'm kind of funny. I think I got something original to say. And I felt like I was on the pulse of what people thought was funny. So yeah, and so then of course it was after that it was once I got in the theater, my performance was cultivated in the theater, and then once I started hitting the open mic scene and hitting doing comedy clubs and stuff, that's so of course that helped me grow that seed into a
Yeah.
tree or whatever. But yeah, I mean, because people always say, "Oh man," people tell me I'm funny, and I'm like, "Hey, that's where it started. That's how I got started." My friends were like, "Man, you funny. You should do stand up." I just said, "Oh, y'all think so? All right, let me try it out." You know what I'm saying? So yes, I definitely, and I think there are degrees of it too. There's some people that just come out the womb and they just freestyle. They just
Yeah.
freestyle all this comedy, this, and they just hilarious every time you see them. No matter where you see them, they just make you laugh. So I think it is degrees of it. There's some people that maybe like a Richard Pryor or something, like and also
Hmm.
I guess some of those guys started really young, like Chappelle.
Hmm.
I think he started around 15 or 16, and I think
Mm.
same for Eddie Murphy. So I think sometimes it's just just like you look at Tiger Woods. He was playing when he was 4 years old. His daddy had him out there, hitting putts and stuff. Then so it's like if I think if you start early enough and you get the right people behind you, you can get to there's no limit to where you can get.
Okay. Okay. I dig that. Well, got another question for you here. Do you remember your first joke?
Uh, yeah, I think I do. Yeah,
You think you do? You think
I
you
think
can
it was.
think you
Yeah,
can spit it?
yeah, yeah. It was a joke. It actually. So it was a joke about Bone Thugs and Harmony. Now I still do it sometimes today.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the first one. The first one I think I wrote. I wrote comedy for maybe 2 years before I started
Hmm.
doing comedy because I
Okay.
just always thought to myself, what if I did do comedy? What would I say? So
Okay.
I had some notebooks and I was doing and actually I did a lot of I ended up performing at a lot of spoken word events coming up because we didn't have a lot of comedy places here in Nashville, when I started. So and definitely like to do a black crowd,
Okay.
I ended it, it wasn't a lot of, we didn't have any black rooms or black clubs here, that were really doing a lot of comedy at that time. So
Okay.
um, so I would go to the spoken word nights, and then they would give me opportunity to try that some of my other material.